met some really nice people and learned quite a lot of stuff. And just outside, if you just look here, so yeah, literally just outside my window. See you soon. Bye. Just about to go out for a run, and I'm going down to Pride Park. It's about 1.5 kilometres away. It is really lovely out, if you can just see the nice blue skies, but it's really, really cold. But I'm going to go take some pictures of Pride Park. Nice little dog there, was going a bit mental. Right, see you later. Got back from my run, so a little bit about the fitness summit. James Krieger gave a really good and in-depth speech. James explained that we are very, very bad at keeping weight loss off, and that after only 3 years, 5% people keep that weight loss off.
So you can see, first year you got 46%, then you go to 1 to 3 years down to 25%, and then finally at 3+ years only 5% of people are keeping a 5% weight loss. Okay, that's horrible. That's horrible. So one of the things I'm going to talk about today is one of the things that is contributing to that.
Then he went on to say about how he is going to talk about the contributing factors that could add to this. He explained that Ralph Lieber had conducted some amazing experiments and published some outstanding work. Ralph Lieber housed people in metabolic wards for weeks and meticulously gave them specific diets. James went on to explain that there are 3 main components of daily calorie expenditure. Number 1, 60% of our daily calorie expenditure comes from our BMR, which is your basic metabolic rate. He went on to say 8% from thermic effect of eating. This is because it takes energy to digest your food. And lastly, he explains that 32% comes from physical exercise, which can be split into 2 categories. 1, formal exercise. Formal exercise can be categorized as anything that you plan. So if you go to the gym, or you go for a run, or you do a sport. And secondly, NEAT. NEAT is the non-exercise activity thermogenesis. He then went on to explain what NEAT is. He explained that from this 32% of physical exercise of your daily calorie expenditure, if nobody did any sort of physical activity and they was a sedentary person, you'd still get 17% of your daily calorie expenditure from NEAT. NEAT happens every second and is your activity of daily living. It consists of non-voltational muscle activity such as fidgeting, muscle tone, and even the maintenance of your posture.
To a non-fidgeter, you would actually see, just us sitting down, a significant difference in just how much energy you expend. I mean, you're looking at what, that's almost 40 calories per hour between someone that sits and fidgets versus someone that sits motionless. That's a lot, 40 calories per hour. Extrapolate that over, let's say, 8 hours. You know, that's like 300 calories.
He later went on to explain that people who have high activity jobs could even increase the daily expenditure of up to 50%, but that would be in very active individuals. NEAT is basically how much energy we use during the day, be it walking, sitting, fidgeting, or laying at home watching Family Guy, or something more strenuous like housework or gardening. He went on to explain that this contributes to a significant amount and it adds up a lot during the day. James went on to say that the studies found that there were a difference between individuals in different NEAT, and it can have an impact on energy expenditure by up to 2,000, yes, 2,000 calories per day. So, keep moving.
Now, most people's resting metabolic rates kind of fall within their range, okay? There's not, again, metabolism doesn't make a huge difference. It makes a small difference, but not a huge difference in people's tendency to gain weight, because really the variation in our metabolic, you know, if I have someone who's the exact same height and body comp as me and everything, there's not going to be a huge difference between our metabolic rates. It'll be a small difference, but not a huge difference. Where the difference really is in our NEAT levels, our energy expenditure. So, I mean, if you convert the megajoules into calories there, what you can see is, I mean, that's about 2,000 calories in variance there. Okay, huge, huge differences.
Brad Schoenfeld spoke about discussions around hypertrophy and rep ranges, which is also very interesting. I learned a little bit from that.
Heavier loads do seem to be necessary to fully activate, whether it's recruitment, maybe, or whether certainly to fully stimulate the highest threshold motor units. There does seem to be some decent evidence, I wouldn't say compelling, but decent evidence that the heavier loads are needed to fully activate the highest threshold motor units and thus fully hypertrophy them, and that using some of the lighter loads, training some lighter loads, might help to maximize type 1 fiber hypertrophy. This is based upon current evidence. Now, as I said, emerging evidence could come in where this changes, my opinion might change later based on seeing things. We can only go by what we know to this date. This is what I know today. I reserve the right to change my opinion based upon what we find out tomorrow.
Bret Contreras, the glute guy, he demonstrated a lot of exercises.
Line up, feet straight ahead, bar over mid-foot, usually around 1 to 3 inches from the shin. Bend over and use bat. So some people, like Kelly Starrett says, organize the sparring when you go into it. I don't like that because for reasons I just said, their shins move the bar forward. So I say, just round like a son of a bitch, roll around your back, grab the bar with the worst form, but don't lift it. So just go like this. If you lifted it from here, that would be horrible form, right? But you're gonna round over, grab the bar, and then from here, you pull yourself tight. Now what does that mean? It's a combination of dropping the hips and pulling the chest up. Drop the hips, pull the chest up. You want to read your shirt in the mirror. So, grab the bar. From here, drop the hips, chest up. Can I read my shirt in the mirror? I can?
Nope.
I don't think I can.
Well, almost.
Almost. Drop the hips. Can I read my shirt in the mirror now?
Yep.
Do I go to here? That's a card on my quads. My weak ass quads. It's not a squat.
Demonstrated a lot of exercises, gave us some coaching points. Sir Alan Aragon, he presented on nutrition timing and talked about the old concept of nutrition windows, where that came from, and his recommendations when you should have your protein, how much protein you should have, and stuff like that. So all interesting. Just about to go out and have pizza. I found a homemade, home cooked, freshly cooked pizza place which has been recommended by the people who own the cottage, and I am going to go there and eat a lot. Just came out the pizza place. Pizza was awesome. I got minimum cheese, minimum sauce, I had a really thin base, and I literally piled as much meat in it as possible. I ended up folding it in half and kind of eating it more like a pita bread kebab, but it was gorgeous. I had a full steak on it, full chicken breast. Great place, recommend it. Gonna head back now, get some sleep. Just got back from Bath. It's the end of the vlog. I go back to Chester tomorrow morning, so I'm gonna get up nice and early, go around Bath, have a really nice look around, take lots of pictures, take lots of videos. Remember, live long, be strong, and go beyond.